have a group of people who are ready to play Monster of the Week, or I think we are. We'll see. So you guys have known each other in a lot of different ways, as we established through your shared histories. And I'm going to say that you guys have each, on your own, had some dealings with strange and weird things. Some of those weird things have been supernatural. Some of them have been maybe not supernatural, but just very strange. And over time, through your different connections, you've come to know each other. So you know each other as hunters. You know each other in terms of what you can do. Maybe not every single special ability, but for the most part, you guys know what each other can do. And it is as such that on occasion, you stumble across something. You read something in the news, or you hear something on the radio that piques your interest, and it spurs you to kind of go and investigate. And one such morning, you don't have that kind of thing, but you, John Johnson, get a call. You get a call from the company. And your immediate supervisor tells you that one of the competitors may have had something go awry. That without acknowledging corporate espionage, he basically tells you that they got some information, and he doesn't know if it's legitimate or not, but he thinks that there is a chemical factory a little bit downstate, kind of central Illinois area, where they have been doing some experimental stuff. He kind of wants you to go down to this small town where this factory is and sort of check things out and see if you can find out about anything that they've been doing down there.
Okay.
And he needs this done as soon as possible.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So that's the call that you get. Click.
All right. Well, on that note, so what is, as far as my work life and the group, I guess I know we talked about Adam's character having his base operations, but what's our day-to-day like connections?
So you feel like you're comfortable enough where if you're going to go on a road trip and it's something that might pique their interest, you're fine giving them a call, and you know, by the way, that your supervisor has no problem with, you know, you going somewhere with a group of people, as long as you don't exactly disclose everything about your job to them.
Okay.
So, you know, your supervisor is totally fine with that.
All right. Then yeah, I'll reach out to the group and notify them about there's something going on south of the chemical plant, but I'll conveniently leave out why I know this, or any actual details on what is happening.
Yeah, and you know the town is a small town called Ladd.
Okay. Is this a real place?
Yes.
Okay.
Good chicken there.
Not the chickens.
What if I wrote a game just about Rip's chicken? I should. I'm totally fucking doing that. All right. So you call the rest of the gang, and you hop into the mystery machine. What do you call your truck?
Batmobile?
You can come up with
Cool Wrangler. I'll work on that one.
Yeah.
Right now it's just leased from work. So.
All right, so you call Scoob and the gang, and you guys all get a call from John Johnson telling you that it's time to take a little road trip. It's a short drive, you know, about an hour and a half from the city. You guys all kind of live in and around Chicago, so you're like, sure, a little day trip, and you guys hop in the truck. You head down south, down to I-80, and you drive down to Route 39, and you get off, and you're driving through these, you know, little towns along the way, and you come to this little town, and it's relatively small. There are a few restaurants, few places to hang out. There's like one motel, but the vibe of this town is a little bit sad. Even on a nice sunny day, it's a little bit sad. You see a lot of, like, you know, Main Street buildings that are kind of closed down, boarded up. Who knows? Maybe it's a depressed economy. Maybe there was some I don't know, crazy global pandemic. Who knows why the town has been suffering, but it just, it kind of has a sad vibe to it.
What's the proximity of the chemical plant to the town?
So the plant is not in town for obvious reasons. It's about 5 miles outside of town. But as you guys kind of pull in, there are a couple places that that look like they're not closed. There's a Mexican restaurant called Numero Uno's Cantina, and there's a diner called Mel's Diner. You see a gas station that seems to be open, just one gas station. They sell bait as well. As you're kind of driving through town, you also notice, in addition to a couple of the Main Street businesses that look like they unfortunately closed down, you do see like a strip plaza where, and it's sort of a sad strip plaza as well, where like every business except for the pawn shop is closed. Like all of the other businesses in the strip plaza, and it looks like it used to be like a hop-in place. Like you see signs for like a Pizza Hut and a comic shop and a teriyaki place and a chicken place, and they're all closed except for the pawn shop. That seems to be open. And that's kind of what you see as you drive through all 4 blocks of downtown Lad.
All right, so clearly if we want to get some information, I think if we want to maybe ask some people that work at the chemical plant, see if there's anything unusual that they've witnessed. Obviously we go to the bar, that's going to be open and be populated.
Yeah, I'll say that like you guys get there at maybe like noon, like lunchtime. So it does seem like both the cantina, the Mexican restaurant, and the diner both seem to be open. You see multiple cars and a few trucks kind of in there. The gas station seems to be pretty busy.
Or if no one wants to talk to anyone, we just go to the chemical plant.
Talk to someone.
Yeah.
We should definitely talk to some
You
people.
just drove all the way there. You want to fill up the machine? Stop at the gas station?
That's right. The mystery machine was called the spooky machine.
I like the BM.
Yeah. Big BM.
BM.
Okay, so where do you guys feel like you want to go first as you are driving around in the big BM?
Gas station. Adam really wants to get gas.
Yeah, also a gas station.
You pull into the gas station and you are astounded at how much cheaper it is than Crook County. It is 75 cents a gallon cheaper. And you're like, wow, how is that even possible?
Yeah, I don't get paid by the mile.
So you pull into the gas station. It's busy. Despite this picture, it's not nighttime. It's a little rundown, a little country looking, but it's busy. And you notice that there are some people filling up their gas tanks. You see like a homeless dude who's sitting outside of the gas station with like 6 large garbage bags full of stuff and a shopping cart for a Jewel. What's interesting to you is that you did not see a Jewel anywhere in the area.
They migrate.
Yeah. So pull into the gas station.
I'm going to fill up the old truck if someone wants to ask around.
I will go chat up the homeless person because he's probably a local if he's hanging out there. He's probably hearing the scuttlebutt that's out in the town. So, yeah.
Okay, so you hop out, walk over. The homeless guy has like kind of shaggy brown hair with some gray in it. He's got like a mustache and beard that's also kind of mix of brown with some gray in it. And he's got like an old Loop t-shirt, like the black t-shirt with the Loop logo on it, and it's very worn. His jeans seem to be in pretty bad shape, and he's wearing 2 different shoes. But he looks up at you and he's like, hey man, you got some spare change or a cigarette?
Well, let's see.
He's like, you think you can buy me a corn dog?
I could go in and buy you a corn dog off the rollers,
Yeah.
high mileage one, because
Yeah.
it's about noon, so it's been on there for a couple hours.
Yeah.
I would ask him how everything's going, if there's any, what's the word in town,
Oh, well, things going okay for me, I guess. I got about $7.50, a little short for cigarettes, but it's going okay. Here in town, Well, what do you want to know, man? I mean,
how's business? Is there anything, this seems like a sleepy little town, is there...
yeah, business ain't so good, man. A lot of the jobs, there was layoffs over at the chemical plant a few months ago, and a lot of folks struggling right now. I'm struggling.
What are they...
Struggling.
Well, I can help you get a corn dog. What do they make at that chemical plant?
Over there at the chemical plant, they make chemicals, and sometimes I see trucks, tanker trucks, coming out of there and into there, and sometimes sometimes I seen some open flatbed trucks with rails, and they have big barrels, big black barrels, and they got that sign on them. You know the
placard, diamond.
It's dangerous sign. You shouldn't, don't drink those chemicals.
What color were the signs?
They was white and black, white and black.
Oxidizers. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'll go get you that corn dog now.
Yeah, man.
Everything else going good?
Yeah. Are you fixing to stay here overnight? You gonna stay at the motel?
We were gonna look at the motel. I assume
That motel's a dump, man. I would stay there if I had some money, but you look like a decent fella. You might want to just find yourself that bed and breakfast. It's about 2 blocks west, 2 blocks north. The old house up there.
Off of Main Street. Off of Main Street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just off of 4920, and you're gonna see it's an old lady's house, real nice place to stay.
What's her name?
Victoria, and the house is it's an old house. It's with a big front wraparound porch, and they got rocking chairs there, and you could rent a room. Somebody with just some decent bucks could rent a room there. It's a lot cleaner than the motel. But you could suit yourself. I mean, if you're looking for a party, the motel might be a place to go. Sometimes you could score some different things there if that's the kind of thing you're looking for, man.
Could always get some good bed bugs in me, and all
Yeah.
that.
Say, you think you'd be able to hook me up with that corn dog?
I'll go get you that corn dog right now.
Right on. Hey, man, what's your name, brother? I'm Joe. They call me Homeless Joe around here, but my name is Joe. It's actually Joe.
I'm Morty.
Morty. Nice to meet you, Morty. All right, man. All right. Keep on keeping on.
Go get you that corn dog right now.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you.
Johnson?
You guys see
John
Morty?
Johnson?
Morty's like chatting it up with the homeless guy. While he's doing that, what are you doing? What is Sarah and Ryder and Vivian? What are you guys doing?
I want to go inside and get a snack.
Okay.
That's all I care about.
You head into the gas station.
Yes.
You see like 4 people waiting in line, and the dude who's behind the counter is like, he's got a toothpick in his mouth, and he's like doing like the lottery ticket thing. He's like, how many? And like the lady's doing the lottery ticket thing, and he rings her up fast. And then the next person's like, give me 2 packs of Marlboros. He seems like razor focused. This guy is just on the ball. And you can go shopping. They have a vast quantity of snacks.
How are the bathrooms?
Do you want to go to the bathroom?
I just want to know. It says a lot about an establishment.
This bathroom is not very clean.
Okay. I'm gonna hold it.
Rory's playing the meta game.
Well, the door was locked, and you need to go get the key. And it's the
No, I mean they have inside bathrooms, and you don't need to get the key, but it's not super clean. Like you get the sense that this guy maybe is the only person working the entire gas station for this shift, and that's why he's just flying and just processing customers as fast as he can. But he seems to be, a little bit run ragged.
Is the bathroom kind of like, is it outside or is it tucked around?
It's inside.
Can he see?
Yeah, they have one of those like mirrors, so he can see like the little hallway that goes to the bathroom.
Okay.
As you're kind of looking through the snacks, you hear the ding from when the door opens and stuff, and you hear the guy behind the counter is he says, "Hey Bob, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm all right, Steve. Just gonna get some coffee. When'd you make this?" about 6:30 in the morning. Oh, Steve, man, come on! Can't you fix some coffee? More than once a day. This is stale coffee. I'm trying, man. This is my 3rd straight shift, dude. I've got 2 hours of sleep. When you glance over your shoulder, you see that the person who you now realize is Steve, the gas station employee, is talking to a police officer who he referred to as Bob. And Officer Bob looks like he's, about in his 40s, maybe early 50s. He's in decent shape, wearing the uniform, and you see he's kind of like, he pours like a little coffee from one of the coffee carafes in there, and he smells it, and he's like, ugh, and he dumps it, and he goes to the next one, and finally he kind of mixes a few together and throws some sugar in there with a little powdered cream and stirs it up, and he's like, all right, I'll see you later. You working tonight? And Steve goes, yeah, man, who else is gonna work? Ain't nobody else around here. All right, take it easy, Steve. You too, Bob. Bob walks out. So, Sarah, writer.
What does he mean by there's no one else around?
As you are looking through the variety of different snacks, you kind of notice that the gas station looks like it hasn't been cleaned in a while. Like the floor is gross. Like there's like a spill, like somebody spilled like a drink and it's just there with one of those like wet floor signs over it, but like nobody's mopped it up. Like it's clearly spilled soda from like maybe the day before.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So, you said there was somebody else behind the counter.
Just the one guy.
Oh,
Just
there. Oh, I thought.
Just Steve.
He was talking to
Bob, police
officer.
Police Officer Bob came in. They were having a conversation while Police Officer Bob was having some coffee issues.
The
and
other
then
2 people were buying the lotto
Yeah.
tickets.
Oh, it was a
People-
woman
yeah.
buying a lot. Oh, okay.
the people that got their lotto tickets left.
Okay.
What's Ryder up to right now?
Ryder, I feel, is like he's trying to pretend like he's buying snacks. He knows the snacks aren't gonna satiate him, but really
Yeah.
he's like keeping an eye on homeless Joe because he knows like homeless people aren't gonna have
Yeah,
like,
you
a
see homeless
family to
Joe-
like really.
You're trying to eat homeless Joe?
I gotta eat, man.
You see homeless Joe like through the window, and you notice that he's kind of stood up now and he's sort of pacing back and forth waiting for Morty to come back with the corn dog. So you look at the sad display and you're pretty sure that the 2 corn dogs that are on the rollers have probably been there since yesterday.
Yeah.
And the hot dogs don't look much better.
Okay, well, he is homeless.
He is. He's
So-
going to eat it no matter how old it is.
Beggars can't be choosers, but he was very helpful. So I would also grab him a couple bags of chips and a water.
Nice.
So, and I was gonna grab him a cup of coffee, but it's been on there for at least 6 hours or so.
Yeah,
so,
and 2 of the 6 are empty.
Yes.
You heard that, that sound when you go
Yeah.
and nothing comes out?
Yes.
Yeah, you heard that sound.
Yes. So.
Okay, you ring out.
Yeah.
Again, you bring up all this stuff, and Steve is like, beep, 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 scanned. He's like, going to be 1827. He's like, y'all new in town?
Just rolling in. Yep.
He goes, is that your big bus truck out there, that thing?
Yeah, it's our recreational vehicle. It's
Nice.
the BM.
Oh, you guys going camping? Is that a big old camper? Wow. He goes, there's some great trails. Starved Rock isn't too far away.
Matheson State Park.
Matheson,
and all that.
yeah, all that, yeah.
So, no, we're just kind of checking out the area. We might stay at the bed and breakfast up the road a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Vicky.
Yeah.
She's a nice lady.
Yeah.
That breakfast itself is worth it, man.
What do you recommend, or what does she give? What does she say?
Oh, she usually lays out a big old thing of eggs, bacon, sausage, pancakes. She gets up at about 5 in the morning, whether she has any guests or not.
So we'll probably head up there. But yeah, no, looking around, how's everything been around here? Kind of seems kind of quiet.
He looks around the store just like seeing you guys. He's like, man, tell you the truth, it's rough. It's rough. I've been running this place on my own. I haven't heard from the owner in like 3 weeks. I guess he's on vacation or something. Told him I need to hire somebody to help out. I had to close last night, like literally close. I need to sleep, you know, I'm a human being too. But tell you what, man, I mean, it's like none of these kids, he's like, when I was a teenager, I was hungry for money. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to work and make cash. These kids nowadays are lazy, man. I don't know what happened to this town. It's like they don't want to work or something. I had this kid who was 16 years old who was coming and pulling in part-time shifts just to give me a little break. Just a no-show, dude. No show. Nothing.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. It's shameful, really, man. What's happening in this country?
What's everyone else do around here?
Well, you know, not much else, man. I mean, there's the restaurants, our gas station, the other one closed. The motel probably should be condemned, but somehow it's still open. Pawn shops I guess that pawn shop's all right because people need to sell their stuff, man, to make some money, you know. This economy, way it is. A lot of people that used to work at the plant, you know, things were different, but it's rough, man.
Heard there's a bunch of layoffs. Why? I
mean, they laid off like 120 people. Not all of them from LAD, you know, some people from around the area, but I mean, that puts a dent in things. They were talking about opening up a Walmart, but they're not going to do it now.
Yeah.
Guess we're just going to have to drive over to Peru every time I want to get some from Walmart. Tell you what.
Yeah. Go to South.
You heard about the fire? Oh, you're not from here. I'm sorry. Yeah, we had a fantastic, best chicken you could ever eat. Rips Chicken, it's called. But they had a fire, man. It's closed. They don't even know if they're going to be able to open.
What was the fire? Grease fire, probably?
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah.
But you never know, man.
Got to cash out.
Man, I
Get that
hope not.
insurance money.
I used to live on that chicken. Tell you what, I'd line up at like 2 in the afternoon just to get my dinner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fix a couple plates.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good stuff. What do they make at the plant? Do you know?
I don't really know. I never had any friends that worked there, but it's chemicals, I guess. I don't know what kind. I don't think it's gas. It's not like a refinery or nothing, but
yeah.
some kind of industrial chemicals. Yep.
Viv, you get your food?
Hey, listen, man. Just to let you know, when you're over at Miss Vicky's, she's you know, she's an older lady. She has a lot of cats. So I don't know if any of y'all have allergies, but she's a cat lady. You know, they talk about crazy old cat ladies. She's kind of a crazy old cat lady. Just one of many in this town, tell you what.
Would missing cats be a problem for you, Ryder? Is that going to be an issue?
Missing cats?
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
missing in someone's gullet.
Do you eat cats?
Does that count?
we don't need to talk about what
Alright, keep that in mind.
in the public. You know, just keep it down.
As you guys are talking, the phone rings and he picks it up and he's like, "Sicko, huh? No, you know what, man? I haven't gotten any new supplies yet. So, yeah, try back. Call back tomorrow, man. I don't know. I'm the only one here, dude." And he hangs up. He's like, "Any of y'all need to ring out here?"
Is it a pay inside pump or?
No.
Okay.
You can pay with a card.
Can I flag Officer Bob down when he's leaving?
Sure. Yeah, you see this officer, he's walking around the side. He parks his squad car like kind of off by the propane tanks.
So when I ramp up or he's stepping out, I want to walk over to him, introduce him myself as part of the More Life representative. And
He's like, "Oh, I've never heard of that company."
really, we're pretty big global nowadays. But,
Yeah, you know, I don't do the internet very much.
fair.
Are you in town visiting somebody? Or,
Actually, here part of a wellness check. Heard on some big social media platforms that that town was losing a lot of prospects. People were leaving. I was just wondering if you heard anything or you had any insight what's going on.
Yeah, well, I mean, wellness, I don't know. I guess everybody that's still here is okay, but Yeah, you know, man, it's rough when you got a small town like this and you're one of the biggest employers is, you know, lays off a whole bunch of people. It has an impact, and he kind of gestures towards the remnants of town.
I'll say, well, it looked like a beautiful place to live. It's a shame to
Sure
see
is.
people leave.
It sure is. And you know what? I have faith it will be again, man. I'm a believer in that. Tell you what, you know, this town's got good folks in it, and we're not going to give up. We just need a break, you know. Just need something to help people ride this out. You know, this too shall pass. That's what I believe. As you're talking, you know, you see a group of kids riding bikes kind of down the street, and he turns to look at them, and he says, "Well, if you folks are in here, if you're hungry, we got a couple restaurants that are still open. The Cantina over there's got Mexican food. It's real good, family owned, and then the diner, that's some good stuff. They have breakfast all day too. So if you're still into breakfast, they'll fix you up something good."
I appreciate it. Check it out.
Yeah, well, good luck with you and your company.
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you. And he nods and walks over to his squad car, gets in, and kind of drives slowly out. As you guys are paying for your snacks, presumably no one's trying to shoplift. You guys kind of get your snacks. You walk out. Homeless Joe sees you come out, and he's like, "Hey, brother, how's it going?"
Yep. And I give my, you know, the high mileage, if you will, corn dogs and hot dogs that have been spinning for several days. Give them those. Give them 2 extra bags of chips. Bottle of water.
He's so overcome with emotion. He's like, "Man, thank you so much, brother. This is such a blessing to me right now. I can't tell you how rough things have been, man. I tell you what, last night I went to sleep right here in this spot, and I had 2 bags of leftover food, and I woke up and the damn rats had done took my food."
Oh, man, homeless Joe, that sucks.
I can't thank you enough, man. I appreciate you.
Well,
God bless you, dude. Tell you what. And he just takes a big bite off of the corn dog. He's just chewing it, and the grease is kind of just dripping down into his beard.
Almost Joe's lucky the rats didn't get him.
He nods at you and smiles. He's like, "You folks have a wonderful day." "Thank God, man." And he sits back down in his spot next to his bags of stuff, and he's eating the corn dog. He opens up some of the chips, and he's just having a feast. Gas station feast.
Glad to hear. Well, Joe, we'll see you around because we got some business in town, so we'll probably see you around here, Joe.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah. Hey, and if you need any odd jobs around town, or well, y'all don't live here, but I wash cars. I know I'm a good painter. You know, if you pay in cash, you know.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. And you see, when you guys are walking back, you see taped up rather precariously on one of the posts, you know, the big like roof over the gas pumps. On one of the posts, you see this flyer taped up. It's this flyer for a missing cat. Not Sammy. Yeah, it's a missing cat flyer.
Wonder if it's Vicky's.
You know,
No, it's
Janice.
You could take a look at it if you want.
Too crazy cat things.
It looks like it's been up there. You know how like when somebody puts a flyer up and then it rains?
Yeah.
Like it looks a little weathered. It looks like it might have been up there for, you know, possibly a week.
Doesn't say how long he's been missing. You know. New mission: save the cat.
So can I go back into the gas station? I've decided that I gotta go to the bathroom. So I get the key.
And
I go to
again,
the hey. So
Trying to leave. We filled up.
You go back. Something
Okay.
draws you back
Yes.
into the bathroom.
So I get the key from Steve. Go to the bathroom. Come back right to drop off the key. At this point, I had already seen the poster outside.
Yeah.
So and I start up a conversation with Steve.
Yeah.
And I had, when I was buying my snacks earlier, I had overheard him on that phone call.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to ask him about, you know, he said he wasn't getting his supplies, or he hadn't had a delivery yet. I'm just curious, like, what's the delay, or
He says,
what are you missing out on?
He says, we're out of diesel. We have no diesel. I should have had a truck come for a refill 3 days ago. Nothing. Now that's a little bit tough when you're a gas station around here. A lot of dudes have diesel trucks come through here, and they're pretty pissed. When they go out there, he goes, did those damn kids tear the signs off? I put taped up signs on the diesel pumps, and 3 times those little punk kids tore them off.
Is this the first time you haven't had a delivery?
No, he says, yeah, first time in a while.
I did see the poster outside for the missing cat. Do you know who Janice is?
Oh, yeah. Everyone knows who Janice is.
Oh, yeah?
She makes Miss Vicky look like a down-to-earth normal person.
I hope.
So a cat lady as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that.
Does she have her cats go missing all the time?
No. Nope. But, I mean, I don't even know if she remembers how many cats she has. She just lives up the road.
It says that Sammy would respond to fish. Do you sell any bait here?
Sure do, right over there. He points to a little fridge.
All right, I'll take a container.
Okay, you get a little container of feeder fish. Pay Steve.
Well, thank you, Steve.
Fish.
All right, happy cat hunting.
So are we all meeting back out?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you guys kind of gravitate over towards your truck.
So I've got a wild idea. I bought some bait, and we're gonna get Sammy. Sammy.
As we converse, I assume, it seems like no one really knows what's going on. Like,
Well,
I mean, people are leaving.
I was talking
big
to homeless
layoffs.
Joe. I was
Right.
talking to homeless Joe. He said there's a lot of truck traffic coming out of there. A lot of tanker
Good point.
trucks. A lot of trucks with barrels, white and black placards. Which if they're out of diesel, that could account for the diesel shortage. Lots of extra traffic or whatever. But yeah, I wasn't able to get any specifics out of the homeless man. So.
Shocking.
It's a wonder you didn't get a wild story from the homeless man.
Taking everything with a grain of salt.
He
But
seems super likable though, which is gonna make
yeah?
the future
Well-
real hard for me.
Do you want to mention the rat part? Or eating his food?
well, he ate his. I mean, that just strikes me as small town.
I'm just thinking, for having animals potentially missing, and maybe if there's a rodent problem, that might be coming from something from the plant too. Maybe we get some kind of boosted hormones, or some of the more unsavory.
Like big pharma talking.
You know what? We don't devolve into failed experiments.
Maybe something spooky.
Something spooky's happening.
Well, I think either way we should get set up at the bed and breakfast for the night. And we
So
can
you
do some-
don't want to go to the motel. You want to stay at the bed.
We can
you
get
want-
bed
you want-
bugs if you want bed bugs.
You want to see Miss
To be fair, you guys probably are hungry because it's lunchtime.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
you
got
did
it.
get snacks, that's fine, but just
Either go to one of the restaurants now
you.
and then check in.
When you drove through town, you didn't see the motel. Did I mention that you saw it?
No.
No.
So you didn't see the motel yet.
I think
So
we
you
should.
could go drive over there, and then you also know where Miss Vicky's bed and breakfast is.
I think we just came into town. We talked to a couple people. I think we should drive around, kind of scope out the conditions of this rundown town of Ladd. Scope out the motel, maybe see if we want to go to the cantina or the diner.
Because if we go either or, we can see if any of the factory workers are there. Maybe ask them what's going on, or chemical plant workers.
I vote the diner, because if the coffee was pretty bad at the gas station, people are going to try to find coffee elsewhere. So.
Where he needs her fix.
Yeah.
So, I'm down for either. If,
I'm good with the diner.
But
I'm tired of
I agree.
tacos.
Maybe driving around town,
don't want a
seeing the rest of the
margarita?
state of it.
I can't drink.
I mean, I'd mess with some tacos, but you know. Unless they have cow grain tacos there, which I doubt in this small town of Lad.
Okay. Well, go to the diner then?
I thought you wanted to drive around.
Well, no, I was saying drive around, but then we were saying, what were we saying?
No, I agree. Yeah, if we drive around town,
Drive around.
take a look at things, then we go to the diner anyway.
Yep.
Well, and while we're driving around, we can use my bait to see if we can get
find Sammy.
Sammy.
Gonna just hang fish out of the truck. That's
Hell yeah.
all
He's
right.
the
Out the
chosen.
window.
Yeah.
Out the window.
He is the chosen.
So you guys hop in the what's the name of your truck?
I don't even know
BM.
this point.
Yeah.
Big BM.
Yeah, big BM. You know,
Okay, so you hop in this big truck. You are which fortunately takes regular unleaded gas, because otherwise you'd be screwed. You drive through the town and you finally pass by what you now see as the motel, and it's kind of on the outskirts of town. As you're driving by, you don't see any cars parked at the motel. It looks rough.
Yes.
It looks like maybe it's not in good shape. But there is a light on in the office.
Yeah, I vote not staying here.
So you guys keep kind of tooling around, driving around. You see a nice Victorian house. Or do you? God damn it, I didn't put it in this picture. Oh well. You see a nice Victorian house following Homeless Joe's directions, and there's a cute little wooden sign out like on the sidewalk that leads up to the big wraparound porch that says Miss Victoria's Victorian Experience. And it's like
Perfect place to get X murdered.
Yeah. It is a little spooky looking because while it is a Victorian house, it looks like maybe Miss Vicky hasn't had help keeping it up. Like there's a lot of chipped paint and the roof looks a little rough, that kind of stuff.
We did just find a painter.
Almost Joe's gonna paint a Victorian house by himself. Can I borrow a ladder and also some paint brushes too?
And some paint.
Yeah, some paint, that'd be good. So as you're tooling around, you do notice both the diner and the Mexican restaurant seem to be open with actual cars in the parking lot. So they look vibrant and
I'd
alive.
say they're both equally populated.
Yeah, they both look like they're. I mean, it's lunchtime,
Yeah.
so you see a lot of cars and trucks there.
So nothing else, point of interest. Those are pretty much the hot spots.
The pawn shop.
All right.
I don't know if you there's that strip plaza across the street from the gas station where everything except the pawn shop is closed. So where would you like to go, gang?
I feel like, if we get lunch, it seems like the most people are there anyways.
Yeah.
Either option.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get them a little more information.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our best lead.
Get Viv or coffee.
Okay, what's it gonna be? The cantina or the diner?
The diner.
The diner.
The diner it is. You guys pull up to a little bit of a faded building to the sign of Mel's Diner, and it's it looks like it maybe was built in the 50s and probably last redecorated maybe in the early 80s. But it seems pretty vibrant, and you guys kind of go in, you see a lot of tables. The place isn't full, but a lot of people, families, some individuals, a couple people. You see some guys that look like they're wearing like work overalls. And then, there's waitresses, and it's got one of those like windows to the kitchen, and you can see like a sort of a bigger husky guy who's like middle-aged, just sweating and just working back there, working the grill. As you're walking in, you notice like kind of not right by the front door, but like off to the side, sort of hidden by some of the shrubbery. You see one of those black plastic boxes for like rat poison, you know what I mean? Like those rat trap things, kind of off, sort of hidden by the shrub, but near the front door.
At least it's not by the kitchen. So.
Someone should steal that for homeless Joe.
So you guys go in. You are greeted by a very nice, kind of peppy looking middle-aged woman with red hair, and she comes up and she's like, "Hey, how y'all doing? Welcome to Mills. How many? Five of the party?"
Five.
She's like, "Well, follow me this way." She scoops up these laminated menus and seats you guys at a round table in the corner, hands you the menus. Another woman comes by and brings out like a bunch of waters, and she's like, good afternoon, how are you all doing? And she sets the waters down, and your peppy waitress, she says, "Do y'all need a minute to look at the menus?" She says, "We have breakfast all day," but she said, "But we are doing, Vic, can you do lunch now?" "Yeah." "Okay, we are doing lunch too at this point in time." And you notice she says, "I'll give you a few minutes to look at the menu." She's like, coffee? Okay, coffee. I'll be right back. So she walks away. You guys are looking at the menu. It is breakfast on one side and everything else on the other. A few moments later, she comes back and she says, coffee. She starts pouring the coffee out. There's a thing of creams and sugars and other poisonous powders to put in your coffee. Mm-hmm. She says, need a few minutes? Okay, I'm Polly, I'll be right back. She leaves. Goes and works another table.
How busy does it look inside? Like,
Pretty busy. Like there's probably 12 tables. So about 2/3 of the restaurant.
Would be the demographic, you'd say? Most of the time.
It looks like pretty much all town folks. Maybe some guys that are on their lunch break. The guys in coveralls look like maybe they're on their lunch break. Some older folks who are just, you see no food, just, the coffee club kind of group, some older guys and some older ladies, and yeah.
Is there anyone seated like right behind us?
No. There's like one table on each side of you guys, like one booth on each side of you guys that are empty, and then another table that's sort of adjacent to that.
We got a lot of like conversation going on, or is it pretty quiet?
Just normal. I mean, everybody's kind of talking, and there's like music playing in the background, like 50s music.
Is there like a bar with any like regulars sitting at it?
And you see a few regulars sitting at the bar. You see another police officer in uniform. His hat's like on the bar next to him. He looks like he's eating eggs and bacon, and he's talking to a middle-aged man who's wearing like a suit and tie. The middle-aged man is clean shaven. He's wearing glasses, sort of like thick framed glasses, and he's bald with like a crown of like gray hair. And you can see he's like talking to the police. You can't quite hear what he's saying, but he's kind of talking and gesturing to the police officer. He's got a cup of coffee. And the look on the cop's face is kind of like tolerant, but not happy about this conversation. He looks like he's just trying to eat his food, and the other guy's like gesticulating and kind of like seems to be worked up.
Could I passively like eavesdrop on what he's talking about?
There are like bathrooms on the way to that area. You sort of get over there, and you hear, as you're walking up, you hear the police officer say, "Come on, Mr. Mayor, you know what, we don't have time for this kind of stuff. I mean, we're short-staffed as it is. Can't you just tell her that she needs to get a new cat?" And the guy's like, "Listen, she's calling my office at least 20 times an afternoon here. I mean, for cripe's sake here, Johnny, come on. I mean, could you at least just, I don't know, drive around and just see if you see any of the dang cats? Come on, Mr. Mayor, we did that already. Now, I mean, how much more is this going to take up of our time? We got other things going on in town here, and I mean, we've had to do at least 2 of these, breaking up these parties with these kids. Now, come on. And then you kind of pass by, and you kind of catch a little smidge of their conversation. So, before we go too much further, Marie, you have a power, don't you? A power that starts the game off. Where's my cat flyer? You have a power that starts the game off. What is that, and how does it work?
Let's see.
We haven't rolled any dice in this game.
At the beginning of
Now
each,
we're gonna roll some dice.
At the beginning of each mystery, roll plus weird to see what is revealed about your immediate future. Should I continue?
Yeah, so here's what happens. You're sitting in the diner at the table with everybody. He gets up to go walk over past that bar towards the bathrooms. And you're drinking your coffee, and you see something in the reflection of the light off of your coffee. Roll 2 dice and add your weird.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I need some. Nine.
A 9? What does that say a 9 means?
You got weird
Plus weird, plus weird, 0, 11.
So yeah. So on a 10 plus, the keeper will reveal a useful detail about the coming mystery.
Starting off right.
Woo!
Here's what's cool. You, as a player, decided to do something anyway. You decided to get fish bait to try to find cats. Your gut instinct is you're on the right path. These cats somehow have to factor into this. It doesn't seem that important, but for some reason, the missing cat thing somehow is important. You don't have a good feeling about this. You don't have a good feeling about the cats. You don't know what's happened to them, but you don't have a good feeling about it.
Are the cats and the rats hanging out together?
As friends.
You're not sure about that, but you feel fairly certain. Your instincts are that somehow these cats factor into something that isn't good, and whatever that thing is that isn't good, it ain't good for the cats. Christina's now officially triggered.
Yeah, she's very concerned.
No!
Cats have enough harm.
Should we pay
Cousin, do you wanna
Janice a visit?
hang with me and try?
Yeah.
So
We
what
got
happens at
Sammy.
the table when he gets up? You guys are all, kind of doing your coffee, and you. What's a little bit strange is that you see Vivian kind of stop, and she almost freezes, and she's just staring into her coffee for a solid 10 seconds, and then she sort of snaps out of it. And you've seen this happen before with your cousin, and you usually know that something happens internally when she sort of freezes up like that.
I don't know what, but something happened. She's picking up on something.
Yes.
So what?
Ask her.
What happened, Vivi?
Well, I'm really concerned about the cats. Nobody else seems to be taking me seriously. Y'all think I'm funny buying bait. So.
Smash cut, you're by the bathrooms because you needed an excuse, right, to
course.
walk by them. You see this, and it looks like it was put up recently. The piece of paper is a lot cleaner. Like maybe it was put up within the last day or so. And you know how there's those cork boards by the bathrooms that have people's business cards?
Yeah.
You have all that crap up there too, and people selling things, for sale.
Actually,
but you see that.
Could I just yoink it and bring
You
it back?
sure can.
Yeah, all right. So I'll just 180 from the bathroom, then grab this and just come back. I don't think anyone's gonna notice, but now go back to the table and I'll show this to everyone.
I see it.
Yeah. Like, I think we got
Another cat.
Another Coco.
more of an animal issue going
Janice
on.
again.
So Janice is not a really great cat mommy. She can't get a handle on it.
ASPCA would not like Janice.
The town's got a bit of a pet problem. You know?
Do the ages of the cats matter?
Are you asking me because you have a power?
No, I'm just asking like in general.
Maybe.
Gonna know this cat, you know?
The answer is maybe.
Is there a connection between the fact that she says lost cat and the other one said missing cat? No.
Polly returns and she's like, "Are you all ready to put in your orders?"
No, we want to know about this cat.
Wow. That's
She goes,
surprising.
"Oh," and she sees the flyer. She goes, "Oh, well, that's Janice. She has a lot of cats, and she's getting older, and I'm sure they're just somewhere in her house, but you never know."
Where would we be able to talk to Janice?
She says, "Honey, I think her phone number's right there."
I
That's
know,
her
like,
house
if she
phone.
like live in town.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
she lives about 6 blocks away. Her husband passed away. He had worked at the plant for 35 years.
Very
He
sad.
passed away last year. Now, can I take your orders? She says, right now would be the perfect time for me to put in a table of 5, because if I wait too much longer and more tables come in and I put your order in, Vic is going to lose his mind. And she glances over the shoulder towards the kitchen where you see the sweaty man who does not look like he loves his job. It's like an episode of Kitchen Nightmares. He's like, you see him like talking to himself and you're pretty sure no one else is in there.
Order lunch, call Janice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll with it.
Okay, she takes your orders. You guys order your food. She's like, all right, I'll be back in 2 snatches of grit. And she walks away. And then you see her flit over to another table. You see one of the waitresses just like staring out the window, sort of like dreamily. Just for no reason whatsoever.
Is there anything out there?
Nope.
No.
You look, you're like, up, it's a street, and there aren't even cars. Like, no one's driving by, nothing interesting.
Can
And then you hear a yell from the kitchen, from who you presume is Vic. Beth, get over here and get your order for table 7. It's been sitting up in the window for 5 minutes. And she's like, I'll be right there, Vic, sorry. And she gets up and she starts walking over towards grabs a tray, loads up the tray, goes over to this table, and she's apologizing profusely, and they're like, it's okay.
is Sarah able to pick up on any of this?
Because I was going to say, I was like, can I use my sight? Was there anything invisible out there that she was looking at?
Ooh.
Telepathy or something.
You know what? I think that's worth rolling some dice.
Ooh. Okay, so what do I have to roll?
You're gonna roll 2d6, and
Okay.
then you're gonna add your spooky weird.
So that's +2. Okay. That's a 6. So I got a 8.
So it occurs to you that maybe she was looking at something, and you look, and you try to like concentrate the sight. You don't see anything strange or supernatural.
Okay. So now I don't know anything.
A short time later, a tray full of delicious, greasy diner food arrives, and all of your coffees and waters are refilled by your expert waitress, Polly, who pulls a pen out of her hair, finishes writing something down, and she's like, I'm just gonna leave this here. When you're ready to pay, you can bring it up to the front. Thank you so much. I hope your meal is wonderful. I'll be back for your coffee refills. And then she walks away.
Can I go find Beth
Yeah.
to talk to her?
Yeah, you see it looks like she's marrying the ketchups, like she's taking the half-empty bottles and putting them into one bottle.
Yeah. So can I
She's
ask her what she saw?
She goes, huh? What are you
I
talking
saw
about,
you
honey?
staring out the window. Was there something?
Oh, I sometimes just do that. I don't know. They say I'm spacey, but I just sometimes like to just look outside when I get a minute and just think about things.
Can I read her mind and know that she's lying to me?
Yes.
Okay. So I
She
do
is
that.
not lying to you.
Oh, okay. Damn.
She is truly
One airhead.
yeah, she just seems like a very nice but sort of spacey gal.
Well, that's unfortunate.
And she's like, you have pretty hair and pretty eyes. She's like, are you from around here?
No, I am not.
Oh, well, it's a nice little town, or, well, it used to be, but I'm glad that you came to here, to the diner. She goes, we used to stay open till 10. We used to have 2 shifts, but now, well, there aren't too many folks to come around much after supper time, so now we close at 7 p.m. But if y'all are in town, you should come back for breakfast or lunch, or if you want to come by for dinner, or if you're tired of Vic's greasy food, you can go down the block to the cantina. They have really tasty food over there, and they're a nice family, nice folks. They moved to town about 5 years ago. Family owned. Whole family works there. And then she kind of flits off on her merry way to go do something else. At a certain point, you see the police officer bring his check up, and he pays at the front, and one of the waitresses rings him up, and as he's leaving to go walk out to his squad car, you see the mayor has now moved over to another table of people. And it looks like he's just kind of, making the rounds and shaking hands, and, people are like, hey, how's it going? He's like, good to see you. How's the family? Hey, how's your truck? And,
All pleasantries.
Just kind of, it looks like he's working the room.
Yeah.
So you guys enjoy your lunch. It's filling, tasty, and most importantly, way cheaper than any lunch that you would ever get in Cook County. I just want to drive that home for the entire show. I'm just going to dog on Cook County the entire time. So, and it's fantastic. And Polly refills your coffees and waters as many times as you want. What would you like to do next?
Should we call Janice?
Yeah. It's time to call Janice.
It
Make
is.
a
We need to figure out
concerned
these
citizen inquire about her cats. Maybe see if we can want to talk to her or meet with her.
Yeah. We'll give Janice a call.
Cool. Cool.
So,
So we pay and call Janice?
yep.
Okay.
Call Janice.
You guys pay. Polly actually rings you up, and she's like, it was a real pleasure having you all here. Come back again to Mills. She's like, I hope to see you. You are cute as a button.
Oh, you're a
And
doll, Polly.
She rings you up, and she's like, thank you so much for that generous tip. We don't get tipped like that around here.
Yeah, just
Y'all must be
expense.
city folks, so I appreciate you coming. You come back anytime you want. And then you guys are, again, you're walking out. Are you calling her from the diner, or are you calling her from the truck?
I think we're going to the privacy of the
Yeah,
truck.
the truck.
You guys go in the truck.
Can I break away from the group while they make the phone call?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to go investigate the black rat box.
The Eco Lab box.
I just want to check it out and see, like, you
Yeah.
know, what's up.
As you kind of go, you sort of, there's like those railings for people to hold. You kind of like go around that. You kind of go behind the shrubs and you look. You notice something as you get closer. The rat box looks like the size of the hole doesn't look like very large, right? It looked like maybe for mice. You notice that something gnawed through it, like the hole is gnawed it to be larger, to where you could like easily fit something bigger into that box.
Okay.
And there's nothing in it. Like there's no poison pellet. There's nothing in the box.
Is there anything around, like the outside of the box? Any remnants? Or?
Yeah, you notice some fur, but it kind of doesn't look like rat fur. Sort of has like a kind of a vibrant sort of orange color, although it looks like it's been there for a while.
Wait, were any of the cats orange?
Yeah.
Well, I guess of the two,
Find out.
like with Murray.
I don't think this one is.
What was
That
the other
one
picture?
looks not orange,
Definitely
and the
not.
other one looks more of like a tan. So maybe there's a third cat.
But all the two pictures we saw were either them orange. I mean,
I don't think so.
Great.
They're black and white.
Oh, okay.
Looks great to me. I was saying, it looks pretty
I
great.
wasn't sure if that
So
was
could this be an orange cat? Perhaps.
yeah.
It doesn't look like an orange cat.
Smash cut to a
She has
phone
cat
call
knowledge.
to Janice O'Donovan.
Spooky cat now.
Beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, 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 boop. You call the phone number and it rings 3 times, then 4 times, then 5 times, then 6 times.
Voicemail.
And then someone picks up. O'Donovan residence.
Hi, I was just in town and I was looking at one of your signs. I saw a flyer for a missing cat. Is this Janice?
Yes, it is. I'm Janice O'Donovan.
Hi, I was just looking to see how many cats do you have missing, or how long? I guess when did you start losing your cats? If you don't mind
Well, it's
asking.
been about 3 weeks now. It seems like one of them runs away about every week, but I don't know why. And the others will not even go into the yard anymore.
How many cats do you have?
Well, I used to have 7, and now I only have 4 left.
How long have you had these cats?
Well, my oldest one, Tabby, she was the first one that went missing.
And how long ago was that? About 3 weeks ago, you said?
Yes, I would say about that. Who did you say you are?
My name's Mort, and I was just passing through town.
And have you seen any of my cats?
I haven't, but me and my friends were on the lookout for them, and just kind of seeing all your flyers around, and they look like nice cats. So we just wanted to, we were concerned.
Oh,
citizens.
they're lovely cats, darling.
I don't doubt it at all, and we were just concerned citizens, and I was just looking to see if we could get any more information while we look out for them.
Well, I've told the police about my cats, and I don't think they even care, to tell you the truth. They say that they've gone looking, but they haven't found anything. And I'll tell you what, I've got a theory. I think that it's those darn kids. They're cruel, They're cruel to old women and to cats. And I think they've done taking my cats.
How old are these kids? Are they like high schoolers or middle schoolers?
Well, some of them are middle schoolers, and those are the most, mischievous ones. The high school kids, by the time they get to high school, they're too preoccupied with other sin.
Is it a particular group of kids, or is it just kind of, is it the same 3 kids that go around, or is it just kind of?
Well, I don't know their names. I'm an old lady now, and I don't mix and mingle with the younger families from town.
Well,
But
I'm
if
sorry.
you've seen any of my cats, please give me a call.
Ask her for orange.
I don't know.
Yeah, what colors?
Because I've come up to the group at this point while they're on the phone. I've got a little bit of the orange fur that I found. I'm like,
What colors?
Have like a napkin with it?
Where's your
I barehanded. I just pick up a little and put it in my hand.
So your flyers, Janice, I'm sorry, but your flyers were in black and white. What colors are your cats?
Oh, well, the first one, Tabby, she was sort of a white and orange calico. And then Sammy, well, he's a Siamese, and he's sort of a whitish blue color. And the most recent one, who just went missing about 3 days ago, is my sweetheart Coco. She's such a shy little kitty.
I'm sorry to hear that, Janice. We haven't seen any evidence so far, or we haven't seen them around at all. But we'll keep an eye out.
Did they go missing from the yard?
Yeah. Did they go missing from the yard?
Well, some of my cats are house cats. They don't go out. But the older ones, they know not to leave the yard. And I've got an old fence, mind you. It's an 8-foot-tall wood fence. And they wouldn't climb and leave the yard. No, they don't. They wouldn't do that. Not even if they were chasing a bird, I'll tell you. I know me cats. And I'll tell you this too. I plant catnip out in the yard, and I have lots of toys for them to play with. There's no reason for them to go leaving the yard.
But your 3 that have gone missing all left from the yard?
Well, I don't rightly know. I think that maybe Tabby was outside, and she did not come back in when I called the cats in. But as for Sammy and Coco, I don't think that they were outside when they went missing. I think that those kids must have come to my house and opened up a window or something and lured my cats outside.
You think we should head over there, maybe take a look, see if we find anything suspicious via the fence?
Children these days got no respect, you know. When I was raising my sons, they never would have done that. But nowadays, these kids, they break into the abandoned houses or over at the motel and have their parties.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Janice. Would you mind if we come over, if you give us directions? We're just at the local diner right now, in town.
Oh, you're over at Mel's. Yes, it's very easy to get to. You're going to go about 3 blocks west, and then take a left and go about 2 blocks, and I'm in the middle of the 3rd block. I'm the White House in the middle of the block.
Okay, well, thank you, Janice. We'll stop over shortly, okay?
Of course. Click. And now we're going to take a short bathroom break, everybody. So don't go away. We'll be right back after this commercial that I haven't figured out what I'm going to put in yet.
Well, hello, and welcome to Bill Allan World. I am Wizzy, the Wizard. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. Tune in to the next episode of whatever show you were just watching, and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that, because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.